the only thing I'm a little bit concerned after they arrested leaders of the Mad Crew gang, they officially declared that they are accused in practically in the almost all serious crime concerned with the hate. It seems to me it is kind of attempt to solve all the issue using the only one gang.
As if to prove the officials wrong, it was only a few months after the crackdown on the Mad Crowd gang that the Indian student was murdered.
Мы можем понять чувства, и я лично их понимаю.
The Mad Crowd gang that murdered Samba are just one of many groups of a Russian breed of skinheads active across the former Soviet state. Espousing fascist ideologies is their trademark. And sadly, this man, Adolf Hitler, is their role model.
There are skinheads and skinheads. There are the skinheads, they are active member of different streets, gangs, so-called firms. There is a skinheads to try to be killers. They try to be combatant on the fight on the street.
Skinheads are generally young men aged between 16 and 22. Not older. All of those skinheads I had a chat with are young men.
Usually this group is quite small. Because it's, this kind of rule. Because for the skinheads, it's very usual form is it not up to 20 person, 25 maybe, with the charisma leader on the top. In the family terms, they are kind of low middle class, and usually from the families, their parents have lost their work and social status during the perestroika.
As a matter of fact, it was with the perestroika that the skinhead phenomenon became noticeable in Russia.
There was racism and xenophobia under the Soviet Union as well. It was just dormant. The perestroika came with that democratic effect. People started to speak openly, presenting their requests and wishes, and as you know, wishes can be negative or positive. So, since the perestroika, there's been a struggle to cope with the collapse of the Soviet Union, which was a strong asset. And also, since then, Russia has been in search of its identity as a nation.
It was an overnight change, from iron curtained, authoritarian state, just overnight, the country changed to another. And these people are told, now you are free.
It's Soviet time, because it's a totalitarian society. It was very difficult to openly opposite the state. It was very difficult to be bandits or hooligans, because the totalitarian state take under control everything, including any kind of unpredictable activity on the street.
With the freedom of action, this is where the violence started.
In Russia today, there are about 50,000 skinheads across the country. St. Petersburg has the largest skinhead community, with a figure of 10 to 15,000. Rooted in the neo-Nazi ideologies, the young men believe they have a war to fight for the protection of the purity of the Slavic people. They are constantly training for that war.
Мы, Славянский союз, Санкт-Петербургское отделение, регулярно посещаем стрельбища для того, чтобы наши бойцы смогли в любой момент защитить нашу страну от любого нашествия. Нет, не нашествия, блядь. Чего?
Мы приглашаем всех славян, русских людей, тех, кому не безразлична безопасность своя и своей страны, присоединиться к нам, посещать с нами регулярно наши тренировки по рукопашному бою, по стрельбе, для того, чтобы всегда быть готовым защитить себя, своих близких и, конечно же, свою страну, неважно от чего. Слава России!
Слава России!
Well, they start, of course, with just believing that Russians are better than anybody else, and also the paranoid idea that Russians are oppressed by everybody else. Therefore, they attack foreigners, they attack not even foreigners, but Russian citizens of not Russian appearance, and they attack people whom they consider as personal enemies.
I should say that Russia is famous for having at least one enemy, whether it was some kind of a concrete enemy or an abstract enemy, because they need an enemy to explain why they are not successful, why they are not happy, why they are not, they do not live decently.
With an enemy to defeat, the skinheads believe it is critical to be always fit for combat. Tough training to keep in good shape is part of their daily routine. In St. Petersburg and in other Russian cities, getting murdered is just the worst that can happen to a person of dark skin. Physical assaults and racist name-calling are part of the normal daily life of these students. Most of them are friends of the late Samba. They say it is only here in their dormitories that life is safe.
Déjà 5 fois je compte et je me rappelle de chaque cas. Malheureusement c'est le cas. En presque 6 ans, 5 fois, ça donne presque une fois chaque année. Je tombe sur ces gens-là. Et Dieu est grand, je suis vivant parce qu'il y a des gens qui sont arrivés ici. Mon ami Kamden, perd son âme, Samba, perd leur âme, qui étaient mes amis, des gens que je connaissais, avec qui on parlait, qui venaient chez moi, j'allais chez eux. Mon ami Kamden, le Camerounais, perd son âme. Il n'a pas pu faire 2 ans ici, il est arrivé juste 3 mois. Exactement. Lui qui est mort le jour de Noël, là, le 24 décembre, quand tout le monde sort, quand la jeunesse célèbre la naissance du Christ. Voilà, la naissance du Christ qui doit être célébrée par la naissance d'autres enfants, la joie que les familles connaissent. Malheureusement, il s'est éteint. On a voulu ainsi. Donc moi, j'ai dit, je suis vraiment très chanceux, voici ma 6e année. À chaque fois, je suis sorti, j'ai toujours su comment me sortir des problèmes. Mais je vous assure que ce n'est pas drôle.
One day I was going through the metro. I was sitting with my friend here. There was a Russian he was sitting there in front of me, and when he went off, he spit on me, and after he started shouting that nigger.
Dans la rue, quand les étudiants marchent, c'est pour ceux qui sont distingués par la couleur. C'est comme des ventilateurs, gauche-droite. À la tombée de la nuit, il faut faire rapidement, il faut vite prendre un bus et une voiture, rentrer, s'asseoir. C'est l'état de guerre, c'est ça.
Nous sommes les plus préoccupés dans le problème. Notre pour se faire plus remarquer dans la ville. Tu es loin, tu vois, c'est un noir qui arrive. Bon, excusez-moi les frères maghrébins, bon, ils ne sont pas plus concernés que nous. Mais nous subsahariens, nous sommes trop concernés. On a trop de problèmes ici. Oui. Ouais, parce que n'importe qui, on va te dire Tchoni en même temps. Tchoni veut dire en russe noir.
Les gens t'agressent et pendant ce temps, il y a des passants.
Les gens lisent les journaux, les gens fument.
C'est pas leur problème.
C'est normal. Ça, c'est un quotidien. Il a bien parlé, c'est le quotidien. Ils savent que c'est un peu surprenant.
D'autres même viennent aider ceux qui sont en train de taper.
Ouais. Oui.
D'autres même viennent.
Non, il a raison.
Des gens qui passent. C'est des gens qui